You are listening to The Michael Lodge Show. Wealth, business, and taxes. Oh yeah, and some politics. Let's get started.
And welcome to The Michael Lodge Show. I'm glad you've joined me. I tell you, it has been a fast week. It's already Thursday, and we're going into Friday tomorrow. But it's been a fast week. I know this as I'm getting older. These weeks are zooming by. And every single week I say to myself, I've got to do something different because time is going by so fast. And I'm getting old. And I'm already old. What can I say? Listen, before I begin my rant, I want to play a tape from an attorney in Los Angeles. So, if your employers are requiring you to go out and get the jab or get a weekly test or bi-weekly test, whatever they're requiring. If your employer are asking you to, in order for you to keep your jobs, you have got to do this. Listen, I want you to listen to this attorney out of California and what he's telling you. I like this guy.
A lot of California employees are receiving notices from their employers saying that they either need to take the COVID-19 vaccine or get COVID-19 tested weekly without pay. And I have a big issue when any of these notices say that you will not get paid for that testing time. It's already well-settled law that if your employer requires you to do anything for work, then you need to be paid for it. If your employer says, hey, go get me a coffee and go to the coffee shop, you're going to get paid for that time. And like I told everyone last March, if your employer requires you to take a COVID-19 test before returning to work, they need to pay for that time too. And the COVID-19 test. And any deductible you need to pay for your insurance to take that COVID-19 test. And the time you spend on the phone with your insurance company. So if you receive a notice that says you need to get COVID-19 tested and you will not get paid for it, you need to send them an email back saying, I disagree, I will get COVID-19 tested each week, and I will also be tracking my hours. And if you get fired because of that email, if you get fired because of that complaint, that's illegal. A lot of California...
So, I like him because he's always giving good advice every single day. Mostly to California, but he's absolutely right on this one. Because if you do anything for your employer that they request you to do, you should get paid for it. And it's the law. If they don't pay you for it, and if they tell you that this will not be paid for, you have a lawsuit on your hands. Because in California, they have very strict rules on that, and they have got to comply. Employers have got to comply. Okay, now let's get on to my rant. I just thought I would notify you of that, especially if you're listening to me in California, you have rights there. So protect your rights. We talk about this freedom. Well, this freedom tells you that you have rights, okay? And in California, you have those rights, okay? So protect yourself. Now on to my rant. And I don't mean to call it a rant, but it's something that is truly bothering me every single day. Only because I'm getting attacked every single day. Every morning, I produce a series of blogs that I send out, and it goes throughout the day. And it's usually items on business, and it's on mediation and stuff like that. So I'll read you one just so that you know what I'm sending out on a daily basis. Okay, this morning, I sent out a blog, and it says this. If I can blow it up so I can read it with my old eyes. And so it said this: the question is, where are business ethics and morality if one of the parties wants to dishonor a binding contract just because in retrospect, it realizes it could perhaps have gotten a better price? And so I send it out because I do business mediation, and I send these things out throughout the day. That's one of my goals of branding, is to send these out every day with my logo on it, with my picture on it, so that people know who I am. However, I get these guys who want to be stupid. So what do? They send me a message back, says, "Who made you doctor? Who made you a scientist? I'm not even talking about science. But they decide they want to just attack me. And so they come up with all of these different things about COVID and everything else. So I have not talked about COVID except for today where I posted this video on COVID and pay. But they take these subject lines and they begin to attack you. And they don't even know who I am. I don't even know who they are. But they feel as though that under COVID, now they have this right to attack you. And I haven't even talked about COVID except for getting paid if your employer does that. But they didn't comment on that. What they commented on are my business quotes that I give out every single day. Now, the other thing that which really kind of irked me yesterday when I heard that in the Olympics, there were two individuals who did not act very sportsmanlike. One was from France, and he was in a running marathon. So you know those tables that they run up to and there's water on it and they can grab a bottle of water as they're running? What he did, he knocked all the bottles of water off the table and took one for himself, and he ran on. Not very nice, is it? Another one, I forget which country it was he was with. Oh, Egypt. He was with, Saudi Arabia. He was from Saudi. And what he did is he pushed someone and made him fall down so that he could run on. Now, the Olympic Committee stripped him of any win and gave it to the guy that he pushed to the ground. Civility is no longer here. What has happened to this, to all of you people out there? Now, and I'm telling you, I have acted non-civilly. I don't know if that's right, but non-civilly to some people myself. And I've looked back on it and I'm ashamed. I haven't done it that much, so I don't have that much to be ashamed about. Maybe once or twice I've done it because it was a political conversation. And sometimes in politics, that brings out the uncivil side of you. But I haven't done it that much. But there are individuals who are out there on social media and emails and everything else that are trying to attack people just because they have a different belief than what they do. They continually go out there and find people that they can create a problem with. Civility is so very important in our lives. We have to be kind and nice to other people. It is none of my business what you believe on COVID. And it's none of your business to know what I believe. But you don't attack people for how they believe. Because we have this freedom in the United States that we can do what is best for us. Not what is best for you all the time, but what is best for us as individuals in this country. And in many parts of the world. But we don't have the right to go up to people and slam them, condemn them, point fingers at them. We don't have that responsibility. I don't care if you think that individual is harming your health care. You're in charge of your health, okay? I am in charge of my health. You do what you need to do to protect yourself. I'll do what I need to do to protect myself. But you don't have the right to go and condemn people and call them names. You just don't. You can always tell when in this virus that's out there where it's gone from health to politics. Health, we're concerned, and we go out there and we do what is good for our health. That is what good health is. Politics is when you take that health and you make it political so that you can attack others. That's when it becomes unethical. We have the ability to get along together, but you don't have the ability to condemn other people. if they are harming children, if they are out there beating children, if they are out there putting children into sex slave situations, and also adults into sex slave situations, if they are out there robbing people and everything, yes, we have the right to stop that. But you don't have the right to condemn somebody on their healthcare habits or what they believe in. Once you start doing that, you're no longer thinking of this vaccine as something good for America. What you're thinking about is how I can control America and other people around me, and how I can condemn them, how I can act uncivil to other people. Once healthcare is corrupted by politics, then the health part of it gets corrupted. And we forget about what the shot was designed for. Is it working? We have all these rights to ask these questions. Is the shot working? Is the procedure to take care of the virus, is it working? Are people working together to make sure that the treatment of this disease that's out there are they working together to solve that issue? I mean, we have a 98% survival rate if you get COVID, but what is the procedures? Do the nurses know it? Do the healthcare workers know it? Do the clinics know it? Do the doctors know it? Is everybody on the same page on how to treat this virus? That is the most important thing, because that is what saves your life and it saves my life if we get it. Because we're all going to get it at some point of time. And it's going to be in some form or fashion, because we don't know how it's going to change, because that's what viruses do. It goes out, it changes, it mutates, it dies off, it comes back. That's a virus. So what we have to focus on is not the vaccine, we have to focus on the treatment. How successful are we at treating this? But I get back to the point, because I went off track there, and I apologize. You don't have the right to condemn other people because they think differently than you. Every single one of us, we treat our bodies differently. Some of us take vitamins, some of us exercise, some of us go for treatment. We do a whole bunch of different things to make our bodies stronger, working on our immune systems. And then there are other people out there who are going to McDonald's, they're eating all the fatty foods, they have high blood pressure, they have borderline diabetes. Those are those people too, but we don't have the right to condemn them for how they're living their life, because that is what they chose. So you individuals who are out there on social media, trying to shame people, trying to condemn people, trying to call them murderers. By the way, you politicians who are calling Americans murderers because they are choosing a different pathway than how you believe, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Those who condemn are the most dangerous people in this nation, because when you condemn, you divide. When you condemn, you destroy the faith in humankind. Those of you who are shunning your friends because of how they are treating their lives, you can be friends with them. You can still have coffee with them. And you can still practice good health. But for you to literally shun them is very low class. Very low class. Now, I can understand. If you get an immune system that is susceptible to this virus, then you stay away. But you don't shun. You stay away. Because you've got a health condition that is susceptible to this virus. But a lot of us don't have that. I don't have that. A lot of you who I'm talking to don't have that. But you are intentionally trying to make other people feel bad because they don't believe how you believe. Listen, God has a whole bunch of different beliefs. And there's a whole bunch of people that believe in him totally different than the other church down the street. But we don't see them clashing. No, we see them coming together to help their communities. We don't see them condemning each other. We see them working together to feed that poor child that's on the street corner, or that abused mother that's living in her car with her children. You see, we see God in totally different ways. But yet we all still work together. We all still try to do what is good in our communities, in our families. But we don't condemn. Now there are some that will condemn. And they will say that the Baptist down the street is just as bad as the Assembly of God that's 2 doors down. But those are very minor people. Those are people who don't see the greater good of God. And so what they try to do is they try to make it political, saying one group is better than the other group. And that's exactly what you're trying to do with COVID. We all believe differently. But we still have to come together. We've got to work together. Respect other people's views. But you can still protect your own space, your own belief. But do it quietly. Don't go around telling people that they're Nazis and that they're murderers. That's foolishness. Do it quietly. Do it silently, how you practice your health maintenance. Protecting your health. That's up to you. But it's not up to you to go around telling other people that they're wrong. Civility has really become a problem in the United States. And again, I've told you this before, I blame it on the internet. Because we can all sit behind our screens with a different hat on and attack people. And no one knows who we are. And you don't know who you're attacking. But you find joy in it. And if you find joy in attacking, you need to probably look at your own personal morality and your own personal ethics. I'm always amazed at the comments and the attacks that I get on a very simple subject. Sometimes even on a very simple question. Because I ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. Because as a mediator, that's my job, is to ask questions. But sometimes people take those questions and they turn it around because they don't want to hear what I'm asking. Instead, they want to attack what I'm asking. We have got to get out of this attack mode, because this mode that we're in of always attacking other people because they don't believe in how we believe. We have forgotten what America is really all about. We came here with all different views. We came here with the ability to express our opinions, and we will continue doing that because that's freedom of speech. Healthcare is our responsibility. How you conduct your healthy living is up to you. How I conduct my healthy living is up to me. But I'm not going to go up to you and say, hey, you are an idiot. You are wrong. Because you don't believe with how I believe. That's nonsense. Really, that's really low class. Because when you begin condemning other people because they don't believe how you believe, or how they live their life in comparison to your living your life, how they conduct their health care compared to how you conduct your health care, and if we're condemning them or they're condemning us, We've really stooped to the lowest unethical, uncouth, as my mom used to say, you're acting uncouth. We've gone downhill to the bottom, to the very bottom. If you get too much closer in the way that we conduct ourselves civilly, we're going to be so low that we're almost to that door of hell. And if we open up that, we get too close and we open it by accident, we're going to be sucked in. Let's really, really begin to focus on our civility. I promise you that I will act civilly towards you. And I don't really care how you believe. That is your life, your opinion, your healthcare goals. That's up to you. So I'm not going to put you down for that, and I will never put you down. Now, if you begin to act unethically and you are not treating individuals fairly or reasonably or even plain out nasty, I may have to step up and say something. Probably not about the subject you're talking about, but on the way that you're acting. Because we have got to act civil. Look at the churches, and I will go back to the churches again. Every one of those churches has a different view of God. They're very similar, but they have a different view. But still, you do not see them attacking each other. I mean, if you ever get into an argument at home about God, that's a severe argument. If you have an argument about religion, that becomes a severe argument in our homes. But if you look at the churches in the whole, as a whole, they get along. They participate. They work together. They come together to know what each other's about. They say, listen, we have a problem in our neighborhood where a child needs a home. The mother needs a home. How do we go about getting that home? And they work together. They don't care that you believe differently as they do. No, they go out there and they help. They go out there and collect clothing. They go out there and mow lawns. They go out there. They do so much for their communities that you guys don't even know about it. I'm always amazed when I look at churches and they are so community driven that they have so many outreach programs to help unwed mothers or to help study the Bible or to help in schoolwork or to help in tutoring. I mean, there's so much help that comes from all of these community churches all working together to what? To help each other. But when you take a virus and you make it political, then everyone is seen as an enemy. People are seen as, you're trying to take away my freedoms to make my own choices. So they see that and they hear that. And the media pounds on COVID every single day. The White House pounds on COVID every day. And civility starts at the top. And when Biden said to the American people that those who have not received the shot is our biggest threat of this pandemic. And not even taking consideration of as to how these individuals believe or what their current health conditions are. They may not be able to take the shot. There are people who are not taking the shot because of religious reasons. There are people taking the shot because of their own personal health issues, their immune systems. There's a lot of different reasons why individuals who are not taking the shot. And of course, there's another reason, and it's a political reason. But that political reason started with Biden when he said, If Trump is producing this shot, I will not take the shot. Harris said the same thing. So you see, this COVID virus, ever since last year, has not become about how do we take care of the individuals who are affected by the virus, but instead it's become a political issue. And you guys have fallen for it, and that's why your civility has been corrupted. I'm requesting every single one of you who listen to me, and I don't know how many that is. I don't pay attention. But if you're listening to my voice, I'm asking you one simple request. Act civil to everyone. Focus on building up and not building down. I remember when I was in the Philippines, they have this saying of crab mentality, which means that if people are building up, there are these crabs that are trying to grab onto them and pull them back down. Civility, in the non-existence of civility, means that you are those crabs trying to pull people down, trying to cause them harm, trying to cause them not to get to that successful level that they need to be. So I just ask you, please act civil to everyone. So that is my podcast for the day. Listen, if you like my podcast and my blogs and my vlogs that I do, you can go and become a follower. Go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. Again, that's www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. I have all my postings in there. So it's not charging you for anything, but everything that I do, all my postings and everything, my blogs, my vlogs, my podcasts, go into that file. And you can see a whole bunch of different things. So follow me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Everything's there. I post everything that I do into that. If you have a question, if you have a business question, if you have a mediation question, if you have a tax question, send me a email to mediator at lodge, LODGE-CO.com. Again, that's mediator at lodge-CO.com. Everybody, I want you to go out there. Let's be civil to everybody. Let's love everybody. Let's respect everybody else's opinions. Let's move forward. Because the more that you're negative, the more it degrades your immune system. The more that you laugh, your immune system becomes stronger. But the more that you put down and the more that you're angry, the more that you're nasty to people, your immune system is becoming weaker. So think of that the next time you say a bad word or think a bad thought. How is it affecting my immune system? But listen, I love every single one of you out there, and I'm glad that you come and spend these times with me. But let's be civil. This podcast is produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.